Hi, I am Ellie Walsh, and let's see if you really, really do know what you want. I ask this question often when I'm out speaking. It's kind of a double-ended question. I ask, are you where you want to be? And the majority of people say no. And then I ask, well, do you know what you want? And they say yes. And so then I bring that a little further. Okay, what do you want? And here's the kind of answers I get. Well, I sure don't like where I am. I don't like the job I'm in, and I want a different job. Or I really don't like the house I'm in, and I want a different house. And so I'll bring that further and ask, okay, well, what kind of house? Well, my house is small. I want a bigger house. Or my house is old-fashioned. It's just everything's old in it. I want a modern house, bigger and modern house. Now, it sounds like they're telling me what they want. But if you're listening real closely, they're telling me more about what they don't want. And that's kind of what we do. We've been trained to talk more about what we don't want. And it's a pattern that runs. And if you're looking back at any of my other videos, I talk all about mindset, and I talk all about that autopilot that we live on. We have these patterns of thought and they are bringing us to where we are today. So if you want to fine-tune, let's reframe this. If you're not where you want to be, if you don't have what you really want, here's a process to do. Here's the way to do it. Go get a piece of paper. Put a line down the middle. On the left side, write what I don't want. And on the right side, do a heading of what I do want. Now, we're going to go over to that left side first. We're going to go over to the what I don't want. Now, look, if you have any kind of personal development training already, especially if you have been listening to and studying the law of attraction, some of you are like, oh, no, I can't go onto that left side. I can't write down what I don't want because I don't want to put my attention on it. If you are afraid of writing down what you don't want, you have huge attention on it. And by you making believe it's not there, it's still there. It's running this, actually it's worse because it's running this silent program that you won't acknowledge. So this is really, really important. Get that piece of paper, what I don't want. Start writing it. I don't want this house I'm in. I don't want to work the hours I'm working. I don't want to scrimp for money. I don't want the job I have. I don't want to be in cold climate. That's me. Write that. It's winter here in upstate New York, so it's starting. Write that down on the left side and go to town with it. Some of you will write pages because some of you will all of a sudden get a freedom from finally putting this down on paper. Now, I don't want you to stop there, so make sure you've given yourself a chunk of time. However many pages or lines you fill in of what you don't want, I want you to go right back up. I want you to read that first one, what you don't want. I don't want the house I live in. Well, and then ask yourself the question. Just give yourself that space. Well, what do I want? Oh, I want a house that is more spacious and modern. In a nice neighborhood. Maybe even name the neighborhood. If you don't know the neighborhood yet, that's okay. I want a house that is more spacious and modern in a nicer neighborhood. Put that over here on the right side in what I do want. And cross off, this is important, cross off that line of what you don't want. Go to the next one. I don't want this job I have. Oh, I want I want a better job. I want to work with nicer people. I want to be in a job in what I'm interested in. I don't even want a job. I want my own business. Whatever that is, put it down over there. Go over to the left side, cross it off. I don't want to be in cold climate. That one's mine. It might be yours too. Get over here on the right side and write. I want to always be in a warm climate. Cross off. I don't want to be in the cold. And do the whole list. Now, keep that list, because that day, right then, you can take it and start reading those things that you do want. And start to kind of see yourself in it. You don't need exact details right now. You want to know what? We're not used to doing this. See, little kids can just roll out the stuff they want. But we've already been trained not to want too much. We've already been trained that if I really want this and I don't get it, I'm going to get hurt, so I shouldn't want all these great things. We've been trained there, or we've been trained that if I put this out to the world and I don't get it, people will laugh at me. We have all these judgments on this. So give yourself just some time with this. The next day, I want you to keep that paper. I want you to concentrate on what you do want, because here's what you've done in that program that runs, and I promise you it's a mindset map. You started to add some detours. So when it starts to come up, maybe you're in your house and you're looking around and you can feel yourself, and then you go, wait a minute. You can feel it. There's been that detour in that map, and then you say, okay, wait, what do I want? Okay, I want a spacious house. I want a more modernized house. I want to be in a nicer neighborhood. I'm just going to take a deep breath. I'm going to believe that can happen for me. So reading these of what you do want is really, really important. Now, we can take this process further, but this is the first step of the process, and you really ought to do this for a couple of days. I'm going to come back with another video, and we're going to take this even further for you. But this is that first step in finally being aware of, I do have all these things I don't want, and I'm putting a lot of attention on them. I'm going to put it down in writing what I do want. Again, I don't have to have the exact details yet, because we'll go further with that. I'm just going to start being aware of, and I'm going to start switching that for me. So come on over. If you've done this already or you're doing it now, come over to me to the Facebook page. Tell me how it's going for you. Tell me how many pages you wrote. And let me know what's going on for you with this. I promise you this process will start to shift, and you will see shifts in your life. I'll see you over there.